Hello again. So by now you have your clarity into what is the purpose of your business. There are a few considerations that I've been thinking about, and if you're part of the challenge, you will see some of the questions that are there that are going to help you with your purpose. But there is this other way that we might get tempted to do, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But if you have no idea on what your business could be, you could potentially think about the stuff that people look for you, like that thing that you're always being asked to help others with, like that thing that when something's happening, your friends are calling you or your family is asking, even if it's your mom, like anything that you can see or think that there's some sort of recurrency of people coming to you, that might give you an idea. Of course, think about it if you enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy it, why is it that you don't enjoy it? Before we go on, I'm going to share something because I think there's something very powerful once we start to take action and going into the world of action. That this is what it's all about. This is what we're doing. We are. This is the unfiltered. I'm doing the business and with you. I'm really doing it with you. The only difference that we have that I've shared is that I kind of like have had more time to think about what is it that I want to do. And this is one of the reasons that I mentioned what are people calling you for. It's not a golden rule, for sure it's not, and this is why. In my case, people are not necessarily calling me to say, "Hey, listen, how are you making your kids entrepreneurs, or are you raising your kids?" That's actually quite the opposite. I've had a very interesting relationship and way with my kids, with the three of them. It's very interesting, and I don't think I'm necessarily the thought leader regarding parenting, but I love children. I love working with children. When I was growing up, I was working in a camp, as I was a counselor in a camp, and I just loved it. It was the happiest moments in my life. Um, Thinking of ways of showing different ways to teaching kids how to do stuff. I love it. Um, the challenge that has come to me by having kids is just one of the greatest blessings in my life. And I'm also very creative, like with activities. I love to do crafts. So I am thinking of the business with a lot of potential with crafts. And as you can see, I'm very interested in expanding. And I heard this from my teacher in the Kabbalah Center today. Literally, I was listening to one of the recordings, and he say, "When we make our lives work to awaken love and unity," and I want this to be my life's work in anything I do. In anything I do, even in my 9 to 5. I had a situation with it, like anything. Um, it's not when it's easy. Like I said, it's not going to be when it's easy, it's when it's not easy. So it's a great business, like, there I can do this in a way that I'm struggling, and like I can make my life work to awaken love and unity in a company. It's going to be harder because companies typically do not think, like, they don't see that there's a lot of place for love and unity. Yeah, maybe they can think of different meanings of those words: collaboration, win-win, synergy. Like, there are so many business words that to some extent are aligned to this, but at the end of the day, it's a business, right? Like, you don't necessarily make it so that I mean, we don't necessarily think, and we talk a lot about the separation from my life and my family to my work, and then there's a whole topic there. So it would be a harder if my main thing is that. It's so much easier to accomplish it through this business than in a corporate role. So again, but the point is, just to give you some thoughts, like this is something I was thinking, so I wanted to share as well. If you're still trying to define that clarity into what your business is. That being said, I want to say as well, it's okay. Like it can take time. It doesn't need to be perfect. One of the things that I hope that you're getting from this is the someone that to be there with you, to give you like step by step. Like you don't need to be thinking about this and wearing yourself out like day and night. We are going to go step by step, and by the end of the 21 days you are going to have a business. If you do the steps, they don't need to be perfect. You can come back and perfect them. That's okay. It's the world of action. We're going to get so much more from for action. And one of the reasons I'm doing this, I would have loved to have this sort of help in the process when I was doing it, to reduce to some extent the doubts that I might have, and different things like that. So that's one thing for sure. The other very important thing that I want to bring up, because I think it's impressive how things work, is you can expect as you're going, you will potentially have challenges in the way, that you're gonna, there's stuff that it's gonna come your way that it's gonna make you doubt, and or because it's like it's gonna be hard, I would say. So try to find out ways that you can change those things into from fear to certainty. And the way that you do that is by removing the unknown, like the heaviness of the word. So at times when you're thinking of, okay, I'm creating a business, it's a big word. I'm gonna need to make a living out of this. It's a big challenge. What if it's successful? What if it's not successful? What if I'm enough? What if I am more than enough? What if I could be doing something different? What if I'm being accepted, or what? Like there's so many things that might come up, and at sometimes the once you have the ability to see, it's gonna become so interesting and really exciting. This is one of the reasons why I cannot really recommend you enough to take Kabbalah 1, because you're going to start to see the world differently, and you're going to be able to change the consciousness around how you do things, and this is going to be incredibly valuable. There's people that just have it natural, like it's more like an instinct, and for some reason I do think that their soul like allows them to do those things regardless if they have the the knowledge activate, like if they can see the knowledge or not. And I think at some point you do need to learn more about it to be able to recognize it. But it's kind of like the I don't know if you're familiar with this concept of the color blue, that it's a kind of like a newer color, and there is a whole part of the world that doesn't even have the color. Something like that. I'm not. You can Google it, or you can ChatGPT it, and you can just look at the beginning of that. But basically, what it means is that before, people didn't know that it existed. So for some people, they're just not able to recognize the color at all, because in their minds it doesn't exist. So and there's, like, I think even till this day, there is a whole part of the world that doesn't know the word blue, but they can see way, way, way more shades of green than what we can. I think it's the same with Eskimos and ice. But mainly what it means, and this is bringing us into the topic of today, which is the name, and what is in a name. And so there's, I mean, first of all, the power of words. So one fun fact: the word abracadabra, and I don't know exactly the root, so again, look for it, or probably you would find it in Kabbalah.com. But the root of that word means I create as I speak in Hebrew, or Aramaic. So basically, when we think about abracadabra is kind of like magically something appearing. And really the idea here is that our words create our reality. And this is gonna sound, and this is gonna resonate with you if you're familiar with quantum physics and the law of attraction and all those type of things. This is gonna sound very, very familiar. And from a point of view of the Kabbalist, that I don't know much, by the way, I do not know much. There's a story, a beautiful story, but I don't know it, so I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it. But if I find it, I'm gonna share it with you. Potentially even in the challenge, I will make more the effort to find it and share it in the. If you're part of the challenge, that if you're not, try to join. I think it's worth the effort. But basically, like the name holds like all the potential of something. Like it's a very, very important thing. And one of the things as well is like we are the only kingdom, we have different kingdoms, and it's the animal kingdom and the inanimate and plants, and we are the only kingdom that has the ability to speak. There are some others that might communicate, like there's even studies on how trees communicate with each other, and that's perfect. And animals make sounds and things like that, like very sophisticated even, but not words the way we do. Like not even like parrots that they just repeat it. It's not consciously, it's not to have a conversation and things like that. So it's extremely powerful. Now, in what it's of our business here, in our business, I mean like the subject matter of our time together, it's really to think about the name for our business. So there are a couple of things that I would suggest to consider. So and I'm gonna share with them everything, like from everything from the how to find different names, how do you play with a name. Maybe you have some idea. Do I need to think about my customer, or do I need to think about just something that I like, even though it doesn't mean anything? And I would say that it's probably a mix. I would say, like, there are so many times that for sure it is very smart that we can think of a name that people is going to relate to that. We have some cases actually that the name became the brand, like Kleenex. Like it doesn't really mean anything, but Kleenex became to be Kleenex. Like I don't know if universally, but at least in Mexico for sure. Paper tissue. I don't know how we call it, but like in Mexico, it just the brand became the name. So and like that, we have many things like Coke. And we have many things, and I know that might have something to do, but there are so many names that don't necessarily have anything to do with what they're doing. One of my business, for example, has nothing to do with what I'm doing, and some others really I start to connect like with a channel, and then stuff happens. So I'm going to give you an example. This YouTube channel, at first, when I created it, I can't remember if it was like maybe 4 years ago, because I had the idea that I wanted to do something. Like I wanted, and if you look at that, like it's talking about how everyone wants to change the world, but no one thinks about changing themselves. And how do we do it? And I always had this idea of, and how do we do it when it seems that it doesn't make sense? Like there's no connection. What connection could it be as a business person to be interested in love? And love for no reason. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's even like made fun of, and even like it sounds like a Hallmark movie, right? Like it doesn't make sense. But in the end, I was like, well, but we're humans and we're becoming, and this was even before AI. So one of the founders of the center, Karen Berg, said, "We don't come to the world, we become," and I love that. I just love that phrase. I was thinking, and we become what we can, what we repeatedly do. Like if I keep on doing this and this and this and this is who I'm gonna become. And this is very, like, for me, it ties perfectly because I'm a very practical person. So, if we think about, discipline, and we think about repetition, and we think about how do we become a habit. And I think I spoke briefly about atomic habits and how, for, like, instead of saying, okay, this little, I'm going to start like doing this to be this person, you can start acting as if you already are that person, and that way you're going to become that person. So it's kind of like all connected, and we put so much calculation into what's first and why. And I think those are mainly excuses. But anyways, I name, the channel was really Human Becoming, and I love that name. And I think maybe it's even out there somehow or something like that. And it's good. It was there. And then, time happened. I did the certification in spirituality for kids, and I started to get more in tune, and I started to more really live Kabbalah, like act and make it, like I said, like make my life work, and more than make my life work, make my life reason of breathing, like that everything that I'm trying to do, I'm attempting. I'm not there. I don't think, I mean, hopefully I won't become ready yet, to keep on trying, but at least it's a huge desire. And I always keep on and asking and praying, really, to grow that desire, to want to keep on growing as a person and transforming, and as a person in anything I do. I will be a person, like in every single thing that I'm doing. I'm gonna still be me. So it might take different forms, and I need to bring the abilities that I've been giving, and part of them is the ability to think, and then to make decisions, and to read the room, like many things. But in essence, is that, so as I continue to do that, one day it came through me. And again, like I said the other day, this is something that you're going to learn a lot about in Kabbalah. How are you a channel? But also, like, there's many business people that have said it. I can't remember the name, and I was trying to find the podcast and I couldn't. I will try more, but okay, I will try. My teacher told me, do not say I will try, just do. When we add try, is because we are already judging if it was successful or not, and successful to our point of view and to how we can see it. Everything is successful. And if you're doing, then you're not trying, you're doing, right? It might take you longer, it might take you one way or the other, but you are doing. So I will keep on looking for it. So, and this guy was saying that he knew that when he had an idea for a business, and again, he's a millionaire or a billionaire, I don't know, and he was saying how he was using tools, like to like different tools, spiritual tools, to be successful in business. And one of the things he was saying is that, for example, he knew that once he got an idea and like something that he wanted to do, like he really wanted to do, he needed to do it fast, because he knew that idea didn't come from him. He was a channel for that. But that idea needed to be manifested. And if he wouldn't participate in that, that idea would need to find another way to become, like, for it to happen. And this is very interesting because I have a podcast that I will share. And the episode today, I spoke about this because I in the morning I woke up, and it was hard. Yesterday I went to bed very late because I was processing this, and I did not, if you're part of the challenge, you will see that you have access to the to the backstage stuff. So you will see how it was super late and I didn't want to do it, so a whole thing there. But I woke up and I was a little bit more tired. I knew my day was going to be very busy. I have many things coming up at work, but I'm just not, with the support, I'm not going to miss doing this and moving forward every day. So I was thinking, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to wake up and almost. I need to record that. I will do it in a minute. I had this idea. I will do it. And then literally, I don't know how, like, it became to this understanding that even though I know this, And I know that the idea is going to find a way to come. It's going to find a way to be manifested. I could participate or not. I can opt out. Like I can say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm too tired. I just really need to scroll on my phone. I can do that, but then it's going to do it, right? We have a business idea and we can say, yeah, listen, that's amazing, but I'm just too afraid. Who am I to say this? Or who am I to share? How am I going to do it? What is a website? I have no idea about marketing. I don't know how to make it successful. I have tried many other businesses and it doesn't work. And we're always playing it safe. I love this phrase that, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? So really, this guy is saying that the ideas come through him and he it's deciding to participate in them. So so really, this is how I think it came through me, the name Raising Human Kindness, and I started it. But I had the YouTube channel that was called Human Becoming, and I mean, I can't remember, but I think that I don't know, I maybe have had Raising Human Kindness for good, maybe a year and a half, and I had a logo and everything, and I don't know, I just never changed the channel. And yesterday I went into YouTube, I added it, and it's available, and I was able to add it. So now you're gonna see the channel not as many things and numbers at the end, but actually Raising Human Kindness, and the website was available, and everything was available. So at times the universe is really conspiring, it's really the light is supporting us. We're being supported. Or another way to look at it, it's the universe is conspiring to help us succeed. This is something that it's also talk a lot about in the law of attraction and that part of a different wisdom. So, but it's just the same actually. So yeah, what can you do? So there are a few things that you can think about, and that being said, you don't really need to worry about it. Meaning, there is someone that says that there is the spiritual thing to do, and just knowing that everything's gonna flow. Ask to be supported, and you will be supported. Whatever prayer is for you, however way you get to ask and think and and trust in something bigger than you, ask for that support and just say, listen, I know you have my back. And it could be just as simple as this, I know, please allow me to be supported, and allow that my opponent is not gonna come in the way to that process. If you're trying, and if it's challenging, and if it's just pause, what a pleasure. Kamala 1, I think class 1. So pause, what a pleasure. Amazing. I was looking to this guy that is doing businesses, and he's sharing advice on how to start and how to do and this. And he's saying that that literally the I want to share his name. His name is Ali Abdal, so maybe you know him. But he's saying that literally when he started, that there are a couple, when he was going to scale his business from, I think, $1,000 to $100,000, it's a big gap, but they say that maybe to make the first 10,000 is harder than to 100. I don't know. We will find out together. But the thing is, he was saying that that a lot of things started to happen, and it was he said, this guy told me you need to invest in your business, and it was $3,000, which was exactly the amount that I was making from that. So I was only making $3,000 from my channel, and he was telling me, spend it in doing this. Do not use your time. You need to use it to create more, to participate more, and that way you're sharing your spend it. And he was like that. Funnily, it was the exact amount that I needed to that when I started my business. I said that I needed $3,000. I said I need an extra $3,000. I started to do it by the business, and now this guy's saying, now spend it. So how can I, if we think about it, most of us would give up and say, what are you talking about? How am I gonna, the entire purpose what I did this was to make $3,000. Now you're telling me, then I make it, and now you're telling me, okay, now get rid of it. And there's a concept in Kabbalah that's called the returning light, which is very connected. I cannot explain it because one, I do not know it well, and two, because I'm not gonna do you any service, or me, or the light for that matter. So please learn more, Kabbalah.com. But basically, what it means is we need to be able to see that challenges are going to come. And this is only to grow our vessel, to grow the capacity, our capacity to receive. Okay, you might ask, okay, does that mean that business is going to happen with pain and life is meant to be with pain? And no, I'm not saying that at all, at all. No way. What I'm saying is sometimes what we think it's a challenge, it's not. We live like we are so blinded by our very limited perception that we think this is the challenge, and it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge. So, and absolutely do not make it for a name, for sure, or even for clarity. Always, always choose action. This is the world of action. A lot of things, like even if it's little, and if you're going to bring little light, you're going to get so much more from something little that you manifested, that you took action on, versus from something big that you only thought about and never manifested. Even if you have not just the desire and the intuition, but also the intellect, if it's not manifested, the biggest amount of light, you're not going to be able to get it. So with that, and I do want to share, I'm going to end up sharing a very personal story, very, very personal story, that I actually thought I was not going to share, but I am going to share it, because I do want to inspire you, like how is the thought process in this, and not how it is, how I do it, and I think might help you, maybe might help. Anyways, so what can we do? So now I'm going to share a different tool that I love, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do it. Okay, I won't be able to do it, but so I will just tell them, and I will add them in the comments. So I'm using Perplexity, and I'm really asking, like, what do I need to take into consideration when I am registering a business? So if you have something that you're very set on, and that you like, it's like, oh my God, I just really know that it has to be this, register it fast. In Canada, there's like the intellectual property, but so look at your, like, you can use Perplexity. You can go in and just say, please help me to do this. So for example, there is an app called LegalZoom's AI business name generator. So this is one is like help from lawyers and so on, to like, how do you generate a name with some legal requirements. There's also like, you can really go and see if there is anything like in terms of intellectual property. So in Canada, for example, we have provincial and territorial, but really in Mexico there is another trade name. So anything with trade names, you will be able to find it. The other part that is important is that you might want to look at is domain names. So anything like .com, .ca, .io, .info, you name it. I think even like Mr. Beast has now .shop. I think he owned the entire .shop. So there's a whole lot of ways, and you can really just go to GoDaddy or any other platform and just say, just to see if it's available, right? There's another one that's called Instant Domain Search. That's another one that you can find. There's another that's called DNS Checker that you can add. And then social media. You might want to look into availability in social media. Name CHK is one of them, and it scans like if it's available. So that way you don't need to necessarily go and try to like, if you're doing the first search, you don't need to do it. There's another that's called Brand Snacks Social Media Username Checker, Handle Monitor. Yeah, and then there's some things like simplicity, right? Like, for example, my agency is called Pink Piano Inc. By the way, not just Pink Piano Inc. And I mean, first of all, it has nothing to do with an agency, nothing to do with B2B. After we were able to really, like, I had an idea, it came after the name. And when first of all, it's like extremely long. Like, raising human kindness is not small, and it's not necessarily easy to like, if you're a native English speaker, you might be able to figure it out, but if you're not, it might be harder. And I'm Mexican, so it's not necessarily, but for me it's worth it. Like, I don't care, to be honest. I don't care. So you might want to consider that. Like, it's something extremely personal, and I would say, uh, I, you know okay, take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot in a name, so you do want to resonate. Do not do it just for fast. Do not do it just that something that it's nothing to do with you. Like, even if you need it to take like a walk, and just say, like, just let me see names. Like, open up to just seeing. I know that this doesn't sound like a very pragmatic advice, but I think if you mix both of those things, like, I will give out some of the tools that I'm saying. Um, like, really, 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 like, there is a way that you can even just use AI and say, um, there's another one, for example, that's called Namelix. So it's a very sophisticated option, and it creates short business names. So, like, it gives you recommendations. There's Shopify's AI business name. I think I mentioned that. Dream Hosts. So there's a few options that you can use, but always, like, put your soul into it. Even, like, write it in handwriting. Like, when I did Raising Human Kindness, like, I wrote it like all over. I even love the RHK, and I'm very biased about acronyms, but I love acronyms. So, but still, like, just make it. Doesn't matter how you get to it. Trust that any way that it gets to you, that trust that the name is gonna get to you. And and again, mix it with this pragmatic, like, you have the advices and things like that. You can even go into ChatGPT and write a prompt saying, this is my business, profile. This is my purpose, my business purpose. This is a little bit about me. This is what I love about my business. And I live in X country. I am planning to sell to all the world, or just here, or whatever you want to do. Please give me some ideas of the name. I am more creative. I am more sarcastic. I am more fun. I want it to be very professional. I want people to trust me. I want people to want to open up. I want to create a connection. I want, like, you can just really prompt it in a way that resonates with you, and you will have a starting point. But then do it. The second part that I would say is that just make sure that in the end you define, if you have something like very, very set, go and, I would say, buy the domain, and use the social media. The main social media channels that you think you will use might be TikTok, might be Instagram, might be Facebook, might be, I don't know, like, the Twitter, maybe. So just do them. And the reason why is, um, this is not something that we, at one of the teachers at the Kabbalah Center, call it, like, it's saturating the system. So yeah, we are going to trust, and the creator is going to support us, and the light is going to be with us, and it's going to guide us, that everything is available for us, that needs to be available, by the way. So this is a very important ending point. But everything it's going to come, it's going to go exactly as it needs to be. But we also need to saturate. Like, again, we are in the world of action. So it is possible that, depending on why we're not acting, if we are not acting as a reactive way, meaning because we're afraid, because we don't want, like, if that's the reason why we're not acting, it might create an additional challenge. We're not being punished. It's just we might need to earn back that we didn't in the moment because we decided not to act. It's all good. It's all good. But if you can avoid it by, if you're setting a name, just go ahead. It's just a very quickly step. You go into Instagram, you create a new account, you say you need a new name, you add it. Do the same with Facebook, and maybe even you can do it there, like you create a page on Facebook. You do the same on Twitter. You do create an account on Twitter. And if you want to use LinkedIn, for example, you do create a business page. Do not create a profile on LinkedIn. I cannot stress this enough. You have no idea where your business is going to end. It might even want to be purchased after. Do not create a business profile. Create a business page that you can manage. And if you want others later on, you can also make them manage it. But it's a page. It's not a profile. And that's pretty much it. What I was going to say, in the end, if something comes in the way and it's not happening, do not take it as, okay, I need to stop and this is not going to work, and do not, it's not that. Just be happy about it and say, okay, why do I need to struggle with this? Maybe I need to let it go. You need to have certainty, like the right thing is going to come. You need to trust. So again, it's not being lazy. You're not going to be lazy. You're just going to trust the process. And always do it from a place of giving, not from a place of lack. Just to finish very quickly the story that I told you that I was going to have, there is something that came up, and I was thinking, and I'm really excited to do this, and I want to dedicate more time, and like I wish I had all the time in the world to just do it and to just dedicate to this. So something happened in my work today that I was like, wow, why do I keep on doing this? Like I need to be able to find a way. Like how come? Like when I see it everywhere, and how can I not do it? This is the voice of my opponent. The reason why I'm sharing this is because this is the real thing. This is the the reality show of things. And this is also a way the opponent plays. Like I just told you that we cannot make it out of lack. And even though there can be a lot of truth in that statement, like, yes, maybe my life purpose is not going to be there. Like I said at the beginning, it might be harder. It might not make sense. Maybe it's not going to be in that way. It's okay. But I cannot do it because I'm running away. I need to see it through, and I need to see it through this way. I cannot explain why, but I know that it needs to happen like this, with this limitation of time, when I do have a commitment that I actually like, when I have an appreciation for the work that I have, for the job that I have, for the sustenance that I'm getting out of that job. It's not me. Like the energy is the same. We create this illusion that if I make $5,000, I get more energy if I create 100,000 in a business. So this one is bigger and this one is better. It doesn't work like that. That is not from the endless world. This is not from the energy. This is from this illusionary world. So it's not the light that I need to reveal in this moment is like this. It has not, money is energy, and the size of the money has nothing to do with the size of the money that I'm receiving. It's from my capacity to receive it, and from the and from how purified is the container where I receive this energy. This is why I can strongly recommend Kabbalah. For example, one thing that I would suggest, do not speak negatively. As much as you can, do not speak negatively, and do not get angry. Because when we get angry, when something comes up and we decide to get angry, that is the greatest way that the opponent has to say, listen, you're creating, like you're earning all this energy. You're putting yourself out there. you're going out of your comfort zone. You're creating something that you love, so it's gonna bring light. If you're finding your business purpose, like, and the vision, I'm assuming like you're gonna want to help people, like do it like that. This is the seed level. The seed defines, everything that we're creating, the entire business. So it's very important. And even if you already have a business and are like, going through this to perfect it, to get to the next level, then you're correcting that seed. It's okay. It's still the same. Don't worry about that. You're correcting the seed. So a lot of forces are going to come that way. A lot of things that are going to make you mad. If you act, actually you're making a withdrawal for that energy that you're earning, but you're getting it in the form of anger. The same energy of money is the same energy of anger. So do not fall for that. Do not fall for that. Again, this would make so much more sense if you learn it from yourself through Kabbalah1.com. But if not, just take my word for it. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to pay $1, $10, $100, that's okay. That's none of my business. But then at least take my word for it. Really, really recommend it. This is one of this alone could be saving you years. Just the fact that you do this could really save you years into manifesting your business. So yeah, that's it. One funny story. Yesterday, I know yesterday was very long. So if you haven't watched it, I do recommend go watch it. I know I don't know, maybe it's my self-talk, but I think like, who wants to listen to me? You can listen to it fast. I don't care. But truth is, the truth is, I don't know why I say that word. It's not the truth. But what happened yesterday was that I was recording something, and I was very excited about what I was recording. And it turned out that for some reason, it was recorded with my image, like my image was there, but it was not recorded the audio. And that actually happened to me twice. Once I was speaking, and once there was someone else speaking beautifully, and the audio was not recorded. And typically I would have gotten frustrated, but I just know that there's so much more here that this is going to happen. I couldn't even repeat it. So it was not meant to happen, and it's okay. We can keep on moving. And yeah, maybe I was not meant. I mean, maybe it wasn't true. Maybe it was not going to be productive. Maybe like there's endless stuff that I have no idea about. So I hope you're enjoying it. Feel free to like, if I'm missing anything, if you want to do it, just comment. Try not to comment negative stuff. If you have not, I mean, yeah, maybe you're going to hurt me, but that's actually good for me. So that's okay. But try not to do it for you. So you can just easily, like, if you don't like it, just say you don't like it. I don't, it's okay. Like, either way, it's okay. But if you want me to speak about something in particular, if you need more information, just please feel free to join in the conversation. Join the community. It's like the community part of it is free. And then if you can't do it, go through the challenge. I also have an affiliate link. If you think of another friend that could benefit from this, you can share, and that way you can also make a commission. So thank you.